A $110 million development is coming to Midtown.
But neighbors have a $9 million question. Should taxpayers help fund luxury apartments with zero affordable housing? Our Brenna Kiefner joins us live from the newsroom with what could be at stake here for neighbors. Brenna?
Brian and Aaron, the Midtown Plaza shopping center at 46th in California has served the Dundee neighborhood for years. It is aging and a developer sees an opportunity. But what neighbors want to know is what is in it for them. For years, this shopping center has been a neighborhood hub. But lights are out on signs and windows are boarded up. And a developer has his sights set on replacing it. Picture 223 luxury apartments towering over 67,000 square feet of new retail.
Obviously, any type of progress is good progress, but we want to make sure that it fits the aesthetic of the community, that it creates opportunities for affordable housing, and generally lies with what the community values are.
Developer Mitch Holland built the Artisan at 39th and Dodge, which was also TIF funded. Studios there start at $1,150, and 2 bedrooms run up to $2,470 a month. He says the planned Saddle Creek Marketplace will be similar.
At that first meeting, there was conversations about whether the units were going to be affordable, and their indication was that was not part of their plan.
Then there's the grocery problem. The nearest store would be 2 miles away with no bus to help in the rain, snow, cold, or heat.
With family fare leaving, we want to make sure that there is another food source that comes in here. As I understand it, that is something that's being worked on, but obviously there's nobody able to promise or guarantee anything right now.
For this neighborhood, the question is simple. Will this redevelopment serve the people who already live here?
TIF is obviously controversial, and on one hand, it's good for bringing redevelopment to the neighborhood. On the other hand, you worry about who is making the most money off of those TIF developments.
Okay, Brenna, so bottom line here, let's talk about the Dundee neighbors. What are they getting out of this?
And that's exactly what neighbors have been asking. They're getting a nicer looking development, which is great, but they don't have affordable housing, no grocery guarantee, and rents that are likely out of reach for many current residents. The developer says he's investing $110 million into this, but neighbors say if you're taking $9 million in public money, there should be public benefit. City Council will consider the proposal at their next meeting on Tuesday. Live in the newsroom, Brenna Kiefner for Alert 6.
All right, Brenna.